Carmelo Anthony, the teenager convicted of murder just 2 weeks ago for the stabbing death of Austin Metcalf at a high school track meet last year, has landed himself a new pro bono legal team that is major as his appeal process begins. And I want to be clear about something. These are no lightweights.
Grace and peace, everybody. We're back. You saw the thumbnail. You saw the title. So you know what we're about to do. All over the internet webs, all over the place, we've heard about this new high-powered, top-tier, super team of legal experts who are now coming to rescue Carmelo Anthony. They're going to break him out of jail. They're the melanated Avengers, whatever. And they're going to break him out of jail. They're going to get him out. They're going to get an appeal and get it overturned and get his time back and everything. They're going to just do all that kind of stuff. Well, let's check this video out and see if maybe we should curb our enthusiasm, maybe. Let's go.
Carmelo Anthony, the teenager convicted of murder just 2 weeks ago for the stabbing death of Austin Metcalf at a high school track meet last year, has landed himself a new pro bono legal team that is major as his appeal process begins. And I want to be clear about something. These are no lightweights. And I got to ask, does he have a shot at a new trial? Now, this case drew national attention for a number of reasons, including an intensely debated self-defense claim that landed in the hands of a jury, that no black jurors were on that jury, that, remember, Anthony's black, Metcalf was white, both were 17 at the time. Anthony was sentenced to 35 years in prison, but his new appellate legal team is looking to change all that. This team consists of Russell Wilson II, former Dallas County prosecutor, a top-rated criminal defense attorney with 30 years experience. He's head counsel. Michael L. Ware, director of the Innocence Project of Texas, is second chair. Gary Bledsoe, president of the Texas NAACP and an attorney who specializes in civil rights law. He's third chair. Brooke Clues, described as a skilled litigator and advocate for the disenfranchised with Ben Crump Law. Ben Crump Law, of course, known for its civil rights advocacy. Sean Derdaya, a nationally recognized civil rights and criminal defense lawyer. Justin A. Moore specializes in litigation and civil rights. There is a statement from Anthony's new legal team, reads in part, quote, "Our responsibility is to determine whether a legal error occurred and to ensure that every issue supported by the record is fully and vigorously presented on appeal. The appellate process exists for precisely this purpose." Do they have a shot? Joining me now for a closer look is national trial attorney for Mills and Edwards LLP, Dante Mills. Good to see you, sir. Thanks for taking the time.
Before Mr. Mills gets in, and I do appreciate how Jesse explained all this, I just want to know, where were these people before? Why were they not running and tripping over themselves to represent Carmelo in his first trial? Why are they coming for the appeals, which is going to be a higher bar because now he's already been convicted? So where were they before? And I think we all know why they weren't there before, because they knew he was cooked. They knew that Carmelo was guilty. That's why Ben Crump, if Ben Crump wasn't there, you know something had to be up. That Ben Crump was not already involved in it, something was up. And I think we know what it was, that Ben Crump knew that Carmelo was cooked. And there's really no chance whatsoever. That's why, in my opinion, let's go.
That's quite a team. What does it tell you?
It's quite a team. And it was assembled by Lee Merritt, who's a phenomenal long-term veteran civil rights attorney who pulled this team together. Everybody's working pro bono. And they're putting out the right statement to start. I will say that. They're not saying, oh, he's innocent. Oh, there should be a new trial. They're saying we're going to comb the facts of this case. We're going to comb the record of this trial and see if there was a legal issue. If there was, we're going to put it in front of a judge and have them determine if this appeal should move forward, if it's valid, and if there should be a new trial.
Is there really?
That's a great question. That's a great point. Like, if there's a problem. Now, mind you, at this point, the court records have not even been made available yet. So we're still looking at probably another week, maybe even more, before the court records, transcripts, and such of that nature are made available. So this is not going to be an easy process or a short process by any means or measures. But let's see.
legal issue here? Because at the end of the day, it was never really explained why he had a knife. He didn't take the stand. This idea of bringing a deadly weapon to that altercation didn't seem proportional, didn't seem like the reasonable response. What's the legal issue that they would fight for?
I think you're absolutely right. I think the defense attorney initially in this case dropped the ball with the trial because there was never anything put forward to show that he truly feared for his life. Remember, Karmelo Anthony did not take the stand, right? And you didn't have witnesses coming in saying he looked afraid. Without that evidence, I think was almost impossible to get a verdict of self-defense. That's separate, though, from legal issues. Legal issues,
legal errors,
legal errors. A legal error isn't we think he should have won the case. Sure. A legal error is some evidence came in that should not have.
Like, he didn't have a fair shot.
Well, he didn't have a fair shot because there was a legal error. It has to be grounded in a legal error, not just I think his attorney could have done better. It has to be something like this video. I think the biggest issue here is that 12 to 14-minute video that was played of Metcalf after he was stabbed dying. I think that was very prejudicial. There was no probative value. I don't think that added to the case, but it was so devastating to watch that video that I think a jury saw that and in their minds may have said, I feel so bad for this victim. There's no way I'm going to go self-defense. So something like that, this legal team could latch on to and say that evidence should not have been presented. It would have impacted the jury and the outcome would have been different. I'm sure the argument, and I'm sure they'll also make the argument that the autopsy photos were incredibly graphic too, but it would show the degree of this attack. It would show how violent it was. The other thing I was thinking of, look, two other issues. One, no black jurors. I don't know if that's going to be an appellate issue that would be successful. And two, I think there was a question about the jury instruction about how you frame self-defense and whether if someone's the aggressor or not, can they still be acting in self-defense, if I remember correctly. Do you think any of those issues are going to be successful? I don't think that the jury issue is going to be successful because they're going to raise it, though. They're going to raise it, but the prosecutors put forward a valid reason why they struck those black jurors or those potential black jurors off the panel. They said that because they were educators, they thought educators would have this sympathy for anyone. Remember Karmelo Anthony was a minor. He was 17 years old at the time. An educator could feel that empathy for someone and not want to convict them. As long as you have a valid reason, it's hard to prove that the only reason you voted them off is because they were black. It's a hard hurdle. I got to say, race never played a role in this case. There was never an allegation that Austin Metcalf made a racial comment to Karmelo Anthony. To me, it always seemed like the media was pushing that a lot. But having said that, Austin Metcalf's dad has not been shy with the media. He's grieving. Let's be clear, he's grieving. But he blasted Anthony's parents for not coming to the sentencing. He's blasted people in the media like Sonny Hostin who questions the verdict. He's also made some remarks. He called Anthony a watermelon felon, his family grifters. Is that going to affect the appeal at all? Not at all. I think any judge will look at this and say, let's separate the two. I think it's sad that he's stooping to this level, despite the fact that he's grieving. Everyone should get an allotment for grieving. But remember, there's two families grieving here. This was, no matter how you look at it, a horrible mistake that happened and a life was taken. And Karmelo Anthony will potentially be in jail for the next maybe 20 years. So his family is grieving as well. They have the right to not want to go to a sentencing where the entire point of that sentencing is going to be to hear bad things about their son, to hear how their son impacted someone else's life. They have the right to say, I don't want to hear that. I sat through the trial. He knows he has our support. I don't want to go to the sentencing. They have the right to do that if that's the way that they grieve after their son was found guilty of murder. I don't think we should really, look to point to anyone's father in this position. Give everybody their space. Totally, leave race out of it. Let's just look at the law and the facts. He's got a great legal team, but they have to have the law and the facts on their side to support it. Dante Mills, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Good seeing you. All right.
And there we go. We got Dante Mills there. And even though he's a leftist, he's on the left side of the ledger. He does not feel like this is very strong. He's not giving any kind of confidence, any kind of, this is going to be a slam dunk, because I think deep down inside, he knows this is just performative. It's just drag it out a little bit longer. It's not going to, nothing's going to come of it. When all the smoke clears, when everything's said and done, Karmelo Anthony is exactly where he'll be at the end of this appeals process, right there in jail, looking at 35 down the barrel, if not 17 and a half, however long they give him, or if he's able to get out on parole. But let me know what you think. Do you think that he has a chance? Are you moved by this super team of legal Avengers? Tell me what you think. Comment down below. If you stayed this long to the end, leave me a scales of justice in the comment section. Let me know that you stayed all the way to the end. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for rocking with us. And until next time, grace and peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the JWhit Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.